Okay, in this video, let's work on lab 3 together. Make sure try those problems before watching this video. First one, download the following data file. That's me. And let's check what it is. Well, so it just contains the name, gender, department, and scores for some students, right? So first, let me create a alias for this one. So I just call it a file, okay? Maybe CSV file. It is a web link, so I will use option URL. Use proc import to load the data. Out equals name of the dataset, so I want to call it class. The data file is CSV file, and so the type of the file is CSV. Then replace. Usually, so after we load the data, we will use proc print to check the contents. Make sure data are loaded correctly. Okay. Let's run it. Compare this with the data, and it looks fine, right? And name are loaded correctly. So the first is Adam, so last one is Sarah. Yeah. So first is Adam, last one is Sarah. So data are loaded correctly. First question, so print only observations of males. Yeah. So proc print data class. So we only want to print males. So you want to select observations, and so we use where statement. Yeah, so equals to M, right? Yeah, because if you check here, gender are either M or F, capital letter. So we only want to display males. So those are males. Second one, print only observations whose exam 1 is between 70 and 80. So print data class, and so we only want to play where exam 1 between 70 and 80, right? So let's run it. Yeah, so 70 and 80. Yeah, so you can check. So exam 1 are between 70 and 80. Print only observations whose scores of both exams are larger than 85. So exam 1 is larger than 85, and exam 2 is also larger than 85. So then we will have two criteria, right? So where exam 1 greater than 85 and exam 2 is also greater than 85. See, both exams are greater than 85. Next question. So print only observations whose at least one exam is lower. So that's at least one exam, right? Yeah. See, the previous one is both, but this is at least one. So let me just copy paste here, just modify from here. See, this is both condition, right? But right now, we just want smaller than 70, and any of them is true. So then we want to display it, right? So then we will use or. Yeah, so or 70. See, either one of the exam is smaller than 70. I mean 75. See, like for this student, so both are smaller than 70. Yeah, but for this student, so only one of the exam is lower than 70. Oh no, here, yeah, just one. Seems for all of the student, right? So just one exam score is lower than 70. Print only observations whose name contains letter A, capital A or small a. So then we will print data is class the name contains, there are two different ways to write it, right? So you can write, see, this contains capital A, or name contains smaller a. Yeah, so this is one way. See, you can have this has capital A. Yeah, so this name Bella so has small letter a, right? Another way is, well, so you can just change the name to capital letters. Yeah, so then you only need to compare that to capital letter A. Yeah, so then this one should produce the same result. Yeah. See, we have Bella, right? So small letter A. Print only the record for three students, Eva, Mia, and Sarah. So print observation in a list. So the easiest one is to use the in operator. So we will say name in Eva, Mia, and Sarah. Okay, so let's check. See, only 3 students, right? The next one is print everyone except these 3 students. Well, so just opposite. So then we can say not in. Not in. Okay. Yeah. So now we print everyone else. So except these 3 students. Print scores from the 5th student to the 12th student. So then we will use the option for dataset. Proc print data is class. So the first OBS will be the 5th student. OBS is 12. So notice the 2 options are separated by space. We run it. Okay, see, from the 5th to 12th student. Print subtotal of exam scores by department. Proc print class to print sum, right? So we will use sum statement, sum exam 1, exam 2 by department. Yeah, so if you want to use a by department, use a by statement, so the data should be sorted before that. So sort data equals class and by department. Yeah, then we run it. See, so we got the summation. Summation, the total by department. See, we have the subtotal, and so this is the total. The next one, create RTF files. Yeah, so then we need to use ODS, right? With those requirement. Yeah, so let me copy those requirement. Let's make sure we will be able to do those one by one. So first one, no date and time. So this will be specified by options. Options, no date. Okay. Then yeah, so the title. So title. Okay, so title will be my name and ID. Okay, so then I will say name. So my name, right? So AUID. Yeah, so then I just write my ID here. Remove this one. So the next one, footnote. So then I will say footnote. note. Yeah, so will be this one. So stat 51 10 61 10 lab. Yeah, so footer. 1 page per department. Yeah, maybe we should check here, right? So this one first. Contents include 4 variables, right? So the name, department, gender, exam 1, exam 2. So this means we will use print data class. So the variable we want to display, so will be the name, department, exam 1 and exam 2. Yeah, so then so the variable should be displayed in this way, right? So then we need to specify the label. So the name will be displayed as student name, and department. See, you just use the name of the variable equal, so then followed by the label you want to display. Yeah, so the department equals department, gender equals gender. Oh, not 4 variables, 5 variables, so I cannot count. Exam 1 equals exam 1, and exam 2 equals exam 2. Yeah, so then we specify the label, so then this part is satisfied. Include the total and the subtotal of exam scores for each department. Yeah, so I think we used this one before, right? So should we use sum exam 1 and exam 2? And so yeah, scores for each department. So then we will need to have a by department. So then this one is fine. So 1 page per department. Yeah, so this is page by department. Yeah, so let's run this one first. Okay, looks fine, right? Yeah, see, we have the title, we have the footnote. Yeah, so there a horizontal line here you can see. So basically SAS just indicate the separation, separation of each part, each page. So check the log window, looks fine, right? Here asks you to create a RTF file. So then we just do it again, just put that to ODS RTF. So we will specify a file, a location. So then in the cloud, right? So then I just say my results RTF. Yeah. So then this will be then ODS RTF close. Let me run this one. So here, yeah, my result RTF, right? So SAS will will download that one. So let me my results. So I open with Word. Okay. You can see, so you have title, right? See, 1 page for 1 department. See, end of the end of the page we have a footnote, right? We have title, footnote, and so each page contains only 1 department, and we have the total, right? Yeah. So everything is satisfied. Okay, so this is question 1. I will show this code again, and just in case you want to check that. See. Okay. So now the next question. We have a CSV file. So this one, let me check, copy. And so this is the contents of the file. Yeah, so employee, right? So we have some employee. file name, file2, okay, URL. So this is, then we use proc print, proc import. So to create this one, I want to call this guy employee. Yeah, just make employee. Data file, so will be this file2, right? We have dbms, so this should be csv, and replace and run. Use proc print. I want to display this one and run. Yeah, I just write it this way. Okay, so data are loaded correctly. Generate a report following the following requirement. So ask you to use proc print. Yeah, so seems a lot of requirement. So let me copy paste. So make sure we will satisfy everything. No date, no page number, right? So this will be specified by options. So then we will say so no date and no number. Okay, so this is satisfied. The title is salary report. Yeah, so the title will be salary report. Okay, so this is satisfied. Then we will have a footnote. So we want is produced by your name and today's date. So I will say produced by my name on. So today is May 18. So this is satisfied. List the names of variables as last name, first name, employee ID, job title, annual salary. Well, so then we proc print employee run, right? So then the variable we want to display, so include the name, the last name, first name, this is a name. You need to check the name of the variable, right? So last name, first name, job code, salary, emp ID. Yeah. So then we want to first display the last name, first name, and the emp ID, right? So then we have the job title, job code, I think, job code, and the salary. Yeah, and so want to list the name in this way, right? So then this is use a label. The last name will be displayed as last name. First name will be displayed as first name, and emp ID will be displayed as employee ID, and the job code will be displayed as job title, and the salary will be displayed as annual salary. Okay, so this one is okay. Observations are sorted in ascending order of last name, right? Yeah. So then we need to sort the data. Before that, proc sort data should be employee, right? So we'll by ascending order of last name, right? So by last name. For job code, so display pilot as pilot, and display pilot for pilot, flight attendant for flight. So using user-defined SAS format. See, the result, I mean the value of job code, so can be pilot or FLTAT, right? Yeah. So just use those meaningful tags, replace those values. If we want to replace those values, and so then we use a proc format, we need to specify appropriate format, right? Yeah, so here we will define a format value. I call this format my job code. Yeah, because so this is used for categorical variable, so we need to add a $sign before the name. So for the value pilot, right? So I want to display it as pilot. And for FLTAT, right? So I want to display it as flight attendant. Yeah, so then this is the format. So then for format for job code, so we will use this format we just defined, so the job code. Make sure to add a dot in the end, yeah, because a dot is needed for format. List salary including $sign and comma. So for example, like this 10,000. So instead of should be right in this way. See, but currently, so that's only numbers, right? Yeah. So then we need a salary, a format. Yeah, you need to count what's the largest number. So this is the largest number, right? See how many characters? See, 1, 2. Yeah. So let me copy here. This is the largest number. Yeah. So we add a $sign and so we add comma. So then here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so at least, so the size should be 11. But just in case, so I write it one more. Okay, so I will say $12.2. Yeah, so the minimum should be 11, right? Yeah, but I just want to be safe, I write 12. Okay, so now I run those parts. See, we have title, footnote, right? See, the variable, I mean the name, salary is not displayed. So what's happened? Job code, salary, annual salary. Oh yeah, so here we defined the labor, but we didn't ask SAS to use it. So then you need a labor option to ask SAS to use labor instead of the name of the variable. So now it's right. Okay, so we have name, right? See, those are displayed in text. The job title, see, they are in the pilot, flight attendant. So what we specified in the format. So for those salary, right? So they're also in this format. Yeah. So now this part modify the first report slightly. So remove employee ID from the report. So instead of display exact amount for salary, so display this one. Yeah, just display the range. Let's copy this one. So we will modify that slightly. Remove one variable. I think so that's easy. It's just in this var statement, you just remove this ID. Okay. For the salary, so we want this range, right? So let me copy here. So then we will use a, because it asks you to use a format, right? Yeah, so then we will define a format, proc format, value. So I call it my salary, so the name of the format, from small to, I mean up to 25,000. So this will be displayed as less what we want. So less than, right? So less than $25K. Yeah, and then from 25,000 to 50,000. Yeah, so this will be displayed as 25K to 50K and a dollar sign. The last one will be 50,000 and higher, right? Yeah, so minus high. See here I have a minus sign, not minus, less than, right? So because for this value, so 25,000, so I only want this included in one category, right? See, like here, so without this less than, so this number, so 25,000 is included in this range. Yeah, but so for this less than, so in this range, this number, this endpoint is excluded. Yeah, so and the same reason for here, so I use less than. This is more than 50K. Okay, so then for the format of the salary, so I will change that to my salary dot. Yeah, so dot is needed when we want to use a macro, not macro, SAS format. Yeah, so let's run it. Yeah, you can see, so the salary will be displayed as more than this one, less than this one, or maybe in this range. Yeah, so according to the value of salary. Notice, so for this format, so only affect how the value are displayed. Yeah, but it does not affect how the value are stored. So what I mean is, so in your data set, your value is still saved as those numbers, as original numbers. Modify the first report slightly, so include the total salary and the subtotal salary by job code. So then we just use a sum statement, right? Yeah, so for the report, this is the first report, right? So we just needed to add a sum salary. So it says subtotal by job code, right? Yeah, so we need to have a by job code, of course. So then the data should be sorted. Data is employee by job code. So your data should be sorted. Let me run this one. You can see, yeah, so it is sorted, right? And so then we have, they are separated by job title. Yeah, so we also have the total and the subtotal. Okay. Notice, for this one, seems the title and footnote, I mean, SAS does not display those, right? Yeah, so if you want, I think so you can include the title and the footnote. So for each of them, right? So then you run it, so SAS will display the title and footnote. So see, you can check the code again, so if you want. So that's question 2. Yeah, so that's for question 2. Question 3, we use this one. So this is a SAS 7 BDAT. Yeah, so this is a SAS dataset. You need to download this data and upload it to your online cloud storage. I think so I've already uploaded to here. So my dataset, the employee, right? Yeah, so this one. To use this one, so I just needed to create a library. So my lab, the location of this one will be home, my ID, so the directory is dataset. Yeah, so then for example, so proc print data, my lab employee. So the name of the dataset should be the name of the file. So I run it. Okay, see, in total we have, I think so 500 observations. How many variables and how many observations are in this dataset? We can check here 5,000, right? Sorry, 500. Yeah, but a different way is, so you can use proc contents equals my lab employee and run. Yeah, so by this way you do not need to count, and so SAS can give you the number. Oh, equals all. Yeah, so I should say data. Oh, data, right? So data equals that one. 500 observations and 10 variables. How many different job code? How many different job code? So for that one, job code, right? Yeah, so how many job code is a categorical variable. If we want to check that, we use proc freq. Okay. Table, job code. I think so. Name of the variable will be a job code. Yeah. Job code. So run this one. In total, so there are just 2 job code. Oh, I need to specify data, my lab employees. This is different, right? See, why without show that? I mean, without this one, so why this is different? Yeah, so this is just because by default, so SAS think if you didn't specify the data option, SAS may think you are working with the last data set. So I'm not sure, but so SAS seems just show, I mean, run this one. So using the data set, so we used in the second question. Yeah. See, this is why usually you need to use the data option to specify so which data set we are working on. Yeah. So then you can see, so we have many of those. Well, so if you want to know how many, so usually so you use n levels option. Yeah, so then SAS will count the number for you. So in total we have 42. List the last name, first name, hire date, and the salary of all pilot. Yeah, so we have 4 variables. Want to specify pilot, right? Yeah, so whose name of variables should be displayed so as those tags. So the hire date should be displayed in this format. Yeah, so let's copy those here. Make sure we are able to meet those requirements. So we will proc print. Okay. Data is my lab employee, right? The variable we want to display is last name, first name, hire date, and the salary. Yeah, so then we will have last name, first name, hire date, and the salary. For all pilot just corresponds to pilot followed by some number to indicate the level, right? You can see we have pilot, those are, see, so those 3 corresponds to pilot, right? So this just means we want to have a where statement, so the job code contains pilot. Okay, yeah, so then this one is okay. Name of the variable should be displayed in this way. So then we need to use, oh, seems where is misspelled. Yeah, we need label. So the last name will be displayed as last name. First name will be displayed as first name. Hire date will be displayed as hire date, and salary will be displayed as annual salary. If we want to use label, so see, label statement only define label. If you want to use it, you need a label option here. Yeah, so then this one is satisfied. Hire date should be displayed in this format. Yeah, so then we will have a format, hire date. So we'll be, see, this format is called MMDDYY10. Yeah, so this is MMDDYY10. A dot to indicate it is a format. So let's run it. Yeah, so see, this is displayed, right? Hire date are in this format. Salary is in, yeah, I think. Okay, so everything looks fine, right? Yeah, so then we meet this requirement. How many different countries? So in the original data, you can see we have a variable called country. Yeah, so how many countries? So then we need just use a proc freq. Data is my lab employees and levels. Table, so we want to know how many countries. So if you run it, seems 22 countries in here. Yeah, so in this data set. List the last name, first name, and the country of pilot who are not in USA. For those countries, you can see, so yeah, one of them is USA, right? So the last one, they are the majority, and so we just want countries and not in USA. Oh, and we also want pilot. Yeah, so it is pilot and also not in USA. We want proc print data my lab employee we want to display the last name, first name, right, and the country. So for those, so first they are pilot. Yeah, so the job code contains pilot, and yeah, because there are two requirements, right? So country is not USA, right? So the country not equals USA. So we run that. Data are not found. Why? Oh, employees. I missed a S. Print again. Yeah, so those are everyone, so not in USA. Those are pilot, so yeah, who are not in USA. The last one, so one person we want to find an employee, so the last name contains SA, and the annual salary is larger than 40,000. Yeah, so how many persons satisfy the above condition? So then we want to print my lab. Yeah, so the first one. The condition is, so the name contains SA, right? So the last name contains SA, Yeah, so to be safe, so you can change everything to uppercase. So it also says, so salary is larger than 40,000, and so salary larger than 40,000. So if you run this one, yeah, so since we have 2%, it says comes from Asian country. If you check country, so one is Japan, one is Italy. Yeah, so then it will be the second person, right? Yeah, so seems as the second person. Okay, so then we are able to identify that. This is question 3. Yeah, so you can check the code here. This is question 3. Last one, question 4. Download this data file. File name, so I call it file. This is question 3, right? File 4. URL. This is CSV file. We use proc import to load this data. So let me call it baseball equals baseball data file will be this file 4, and we will have dbms. So the format is CSV and replace. For this data set, so I also want to include a guessing row equals 400. Do you know why? Yeah, you can check one of the previous lab, because we loaded this data set before. Yeah, because if you without this one, so then SAS may truncate some of the name. For print data equals baseball and run. Yeah, so let me run it. So we make sure so the data are loaded correctly. Looks fine, right? So you check the log window, no error. Okay. Calculate the sample size mean standard deviation of annual salary in the 1987 season. So for the salary, I think you just check the list of the tables, right? And so you will see salary 87. So this is what I mean, right? Yeah. So we just proc means data equals baseball, right? So the variable we want to do is salary 87. And so now we want n, mean, and standard deviation. Yeah, so you just specify what summary statistic you want in the proc means statement. You run like that. Okay, so then this is what we want. Calculate the sample size, mean, standard deviation of annual salary in 1987 season for each league division, and output the sample size, mean, and standard deviation to a new data set. So we just want to get those summary statistics for each league division. So we just needed to modify this slightly because it is computed at different level, right? So we just need a class statement. So league, okay, and the division. You can check that. Yeah, so seems see the value are calculated at different level. We also want to output those information, right? So then we will output statement out equals baseball mean. So then you need to specify a variable name for those statistics. So n, so I call it size the mean of the salary, right? So I want to call it salary mean. And for the standard deviation of the salary, I want to call it salary STD. Right, okay, so then let's run it again. Table cannot be opened because it does not contain any columns. Something wrong. Salary, oh, 97, should be 87. 87. So let me run it again. Looks fine. So in the log window, you can see, so this data set has been created, right? Yeah, so you can print this baseball mean data. You can check this one. See, looks fine. How many teams in total and how many players in each team? Save the number of players in each team to a new dataset. So this is a proc freq, right? Because we want frequency. So then you just use table just to display the team 87. Right? Yeah, so then this is a table. And so ask you to save that to a dataset, right? So then you just use the out option / out equal baseball freq. Okay. Then we will print this frequency table, baseball freq, and run. Let me run it. See, the first one, so this is the output of a proc freq. Yeah, and so this is just the result of a proc print of that that dataset created by proc freq. Okay. Construct table using the proc tabulate. Yeah, so pay attention to the title, footnote, header format. Yeah, so the table is generated by proc by ODS PDF. Let me check that. Yeah, so this is a table, and so we want to use a proc tabulate. So the data will be the baseball, right? Okay. So let's try to see how to do that. Here, so first you need to understand the table. Yeah, you can see, so annual salary in thousand. Yeah, so those numbers are salary, right? Of course, number, so this just should be the count. I mean, should be the frequency count. Yeah, so then in the VAR, so that's the summary 87, right? So this is, because this is the summary statistics. I mean, those summary statistics are computed using this variable. For the row indicate the league, the column indicate division. Yeah, so then we will have a two-class variable, right? So we will have league, we will have division. So then you need to add class. So we will have league, we will have division. So then for this table, yeah, so you need to know, so what's in the row, what is the column. So row are the league, so then you will have table. Yeah, so you will have league 86, comma. See, before comma, so this should be what's in the rows, and after that should be what's in the columns. Columns, see, first we have the league. Yeah, so because league has two levels, and so then we have statistics. I mean those statistics for salary. So we will first have division 86 times, we have n, mean, and standard deviation for salary. For salary 87. Yeah, so let's check that. So to see if we have the table or not. Log window, everything is fine. So now seems we have the table, right? You can compare this one. At least so the value are correct, of course. So the format is not, right? Yeah, but we will adjust the format one by one. First, maybe the easiest way. So let's just try to add title. Yeah, so title. So title are in 2 lines. So then we will use title. I just copy the title and so this is title 1. Okay. And we will have title 2. Title 2, I just copy the second line here. Second line here. Title 1, title 2. If you go down, so here seems we have a footnote. Okay. Footnote. So let's run it. Yeah, we have the title, footnote, and we have those values. Then format, division. So see the name of the variable. So we want to display in this way. We want to display this division. So here, let me comma. So this one will be displayed as division. So equals. Okay, we just label can be specified in this way. N will be displayed as number, right? Let me arrange this one. So N will be displayed by number. Yeah, so this one will be mean, will be this standard deviation. So mean will be displayed as just as mean. Yeah. Capital letters mean. This one will be displayed as standard deviation. Standard deviation. The salary, yeah, cause in here, maybe we run this once again, and so to see what's the difference. Seems we have salary, right? So the name of the variable here, yeah, but I do not want to display that one. So then I will remove this one, remove this by blank. Okay. So now looks much better. For here, division we have. So the league, see, I do not want to show that. In fact, I want to show league here. Here. See, if you want to show some text in that box, so you need to use the box option. Yeah, so you need to use the box option. So just after, in the end of this table, table statement, yeah, so slash, you will say it's box equals this text will be displayed, but I do not want to show the name of this variable. So now run it. So looks much similar. What else? Here, see, we have E and W, yeah, but now we want east, west. So these are the value of the variable. And so also this A and N, so I want to display it as American and national. So those are the value of a variable. So if you want to show the value in a different way, so you need to define a format. Sorry. Yeah, so you need to define a format. Proc format. So value. So first I want to create for my league, right? So the $sign is needed because so this format will be used for a categorical variable. And so my league, so this is the name of the format I select. Yeah, because it has two values, so A and N, right? For A, I want to display it as American. For N, I want to display it as national. Then I have another value statement. I want to define a format for my division. Yeah, so the possible value will be E, will be W, and will be C, center. So E will be displayed as East, W will be displayed as West, C will be displayed as Central. Yeah, so then from in here, so we will use a format. Yeah, so we will say format league 86. So we will use the format $sign my league dot. And for division 86, right? So I want to use the my division format. So make sure to add a dot so in the end of the name of the format. So let me run this again. See, it thus shows American, National, East, and West. Compare the table. So what else? Then the format, or what is this one? So this is called the, for those values, see, it has $sign, right? Yeah, but here, so there's no $sign. So then we need to change the format of those mean and standard deviation. This is standard format. So after this mean, right, so we just say times format equals $, just use appropriate format. And yeah, so I just use maybe so 10.2. Yeah, just use this slightly larger, right? I mean to be safe. Yeah, format equals $10.2. Then we run that. Looks fine, right? So you compare this one with this one, so looks fine. I mean, they looks very, I think they should be exactly the same. Okay. Let me check, see. Pay attention to the title. We have the title. Footnote, we have footnote. Header, so header I think so just means the text in this table. So header, so looks fine. Format looks fine, right? Yeah. Of course, this is not exactly the same because see, for this league, so this they are separated in two lines, standard deviation in two lines, but this one only in one line. Yeah, so if you show this one in PDF, ODS, PDF, file, you specify a file, home, and so this will be table, right? So table.pdf and ODS PDF close. Yeah, so if you run this one, check this table. See, this is exactly the same as this one, right? Okay. Oh, okay, right. Also, see, there's a date and a time. So if you do not want that, so you would need to add options, no date, no number. Yeah. So let's run that again. See, there's no date and no page number, right? Yeah, so then this is exactly the same as this table. Last question, so construct a report using Proc report. So pay attention to title, footnote, header, format. This one, yeah, we have use a proc report. Proc report. Data will be baseball run. First, you need to know, so what are the columns? 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 columns, right? So you need to specify the league, division, the team, and the salary. Yeah. So then let's say, first you need to define columns. There will be league 86, division 86, and so team 86, and so salary 87. You run that. We have that, right? But of course, so we need to further modify because the columns are correct. Okay, those are the mean salary. Yeah, so mean salary. So you need to define. Yeah, in fact, so you need to define each of the column. I mean, just to customize so each column. So let's do one by one. First, league. Yeah, so for the name, so I mean, instead of variable name, so you need to use a some label, right? So define league 86, and so the label will be league 1986. Okay, and so then define. See, oh, this one you can see. SAS only show this one. I mean, instead of see, like in our current output, right? Seems we show AN just for all of them. Yeah, but this one is seems grouped, right? So we first have all American, so then we have all national. Yeah, so this means group. Yeah, so then we need to add group. Similarly, for the next one, we have division 86. So then the format, the text we want to display will be division. This one. Let me copy this one. So division 86, and so this should also be grouped. Then define. Then this will be the team, right? Yeah, so will be team 86. So the text will be the team 1986. So this is the text, and so this is also be grouped. The last one, define salary 87. So this is a numerical variable. So notice, see, this is mean salary, right? Yeah. So then we want to compute mean. Yeah. So then you need to say mean. The text will be annual salary. Yeah, so then I will say annual salary 1987. You can also specify the title. So this is the title. So I just copy here title. Yeah, so this is title. I think we also have a footnote. So in the bottom, so this is a footnote. I just copy and specify it in the footnote statement. Yeah, so let me run it again and try to compare. So now looks much better, similar than this one. But for this A and N, right? See, we want to display it as American and national. So this should be format. League. Yeah, so then we want to use format. Format equals, we've already defined format my league. Similarly, for the division, so we want to use instead of EW, right? So we want to use east, west. Yeah, so this is also format. We've already defined that. So format equals $ my division and a dot. For team looks fine, right? So team looks fine. Then the salary, well, we do not want so many decimal places, and we want to in this format. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so the length should be 7, and so it is a $ format. we want this format equals $7, right? Yeah. Anyway, so I just write it slightly larger and just to make sure. So now this is good. Looks the same, right? Looks the same. Of course, so you may want to show that in ODS. PDF equals home name and report PDF. Yeah. ODS PDF close. Check this report. You can compare this with this one. I think so it looks the same to me, right? Yeah, I think so. Everything looks fine. Oh yeah, so the page number and the date. So we can remove that using the same option in the previous question. So options, we use no date and no number, and run it again. So for this date, I mean for this report, so now no date and no page number, right? Compare this with the table here. Looks fine, right? So they looks the same to me. Yeah, looks the same to me. So that's the end of this lab. So let me know if you have any questions.